I don't can my tomatoes. Canning cooks out a lot of nutrients and takes a lot of time and energy, not to mention it heats up your kitchen in the summer. Instead, I freeze my tomatoes. When I need them in a soup or to make marinara sauce, I just defrost them just enough to cut. This week, the cool temperatures have settled in, so instead of freezing all the tomatoes we harvested this week, I decided to make some marinara sauce. I don't wash my produce except for root vegetables because we don't use any sprays, and since our ground is covered with mulch, we don't get any dirt splashed onto our produce. I just love the simplicity. Speaking of simplicity, for this sauce, there's no need to scald, peel, or strain the tomatoes. First, I cut the tomatoes in half. Then I put extra virgin olive oil, basil, thyme, oregano, parsley, rosemary, salt and pepper, onions, and garlic on the tomatoes. I'm sure they would taste even better with fresh herbs. For some reason, I'm intimidated of growing herbs in the garden. I don't know why. Maybe one year I'll get over that. Anyway, next I put them in the oven at 300 for 2 hours. These tomatoes made about 6 cups of incredibly thick sauce. So thick, in fact, I have to add water when I use it in recipes. They don't look any different in the video, but they are cooked, I promise. So I let these cool a bit, then scoop them into the Vitamix and puree them into a sauce. Some of this sauce was used in our spaghetti, some we saved for pizza later in the week, and the rest was frozen. Again, it takes less time than canning, less money than freezing in freezer bags, as cans are reusable, and they stack in the freezer so they don't take up much room. Another favorite meal of ours is meatless and potatoes. It's an Ecuadorian dish my husband used to cook for us when we ate meat. I dropped the meat, and instead just add some cannellini beans at the end. So you start off by sauteing a green pepper, an onion, and some garlic. Then you add enough tomatoes to fill the pan. Add a squirt of mustard and let it simmer to thicken. While the sauce is thickening, you slice the potatoes thinly, cover them with water, and another layer of tomatoes. You then bring this to a boil. Add in the sauce that you made, as well as some ketchup, mustard, cumin, salt and pepper, and some lime juice. And you cook all that down for a number of hours until it thickens into a stew. I'm not sure why, but Ecuadorian dishes take forever. It doesn't make any sense to me, seeing how it's so hot down there, but I have been told they like to sweat it out, so maybe that's why. When I don't want it to take hours to cook down, which is most nights, what I'll do is I'll get the sauce started, I'll cook the potatoes, and then I will drain the water out of the potatoes. Then I'll add all my spices and the sauce and all that. And then I only have to let it simmer for about 15 or 30 minutes or so in order to thicken up, since most of the water has already been drained out. We eat our meatless and potatoes with a salad, with rice, that I'm cooking right there. And when our chickens are laying, we'll also put an egg on there. Another meal we eat quite a bit is bean burgers. We eat this with a salad, steamed potatoes, and steamed green beans from the garden. If you're interested in how we make our bean burgers, just let me know, post in the comments. I'll do a video on that process. There are quite a few ingredients, but it's still a very simple process, and it makes a ton of burgers. So just let me know. It's one of my favorite meals for sure.